Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Monday, June 24. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Barbados is in line to receive another payout from the International Monetary Fund, totaling just over $48 million. The fund's executive board today announced the immediate disbursement of the money after completing its first review of the US $290 million extended fund facility approved for Barbados in October 2018. IMF Deputy Managing Director Tao Zhang said the island has made a strong start in implementing its ambitious and homegrown economic reform program. He added that all performance criteria for March 2019 have been met. He also pointed out that all structural benchmarks have been implemented with a few minor delays, but suggested that measures outlined in the March 20 budget provide a solid basis to achieve fiscal consolidation of 6% of GDP. In other news this Monday, Attorney General Dale Marshall says there is no need to fear the island's downgrade in this year's Trafficking in Persons report. The U.S. State Department in its report said the island was moved from Tier 2 to the Tier 2 watch list for its failure to prosecute people found guilty of human trafficking. However, speaking to members of the media on the sidelines of a counter-terrorism tabletop exercise at the Barbados Defense Force today, the Attorney General assured the island would suffer little fallout, but acknowledged that several improvements had to be made.
There are no requirements, there are no requests made of Barbados to do particular things. I think we will all agree that the very concept of human trafficking, as far as Barbados is concerned, will cause people to wonder, what on earth are we talking about? Is there really human trafficking in Barbados? But that aside, we do have to meet certain international obligations, and monitoring the human trafficking possibilities and trying to eliminate those is what we're required to do. So we've slipped, as I said, from Tier 2 plain and simple to Tier 2 watch list. What this requires us to do now is to look at those areas in which we may have some issues and try to deal with them.
Meanwhile, the AG told the gathering that cutting off access to resources is a key plank in the fight against terrorism, while noting that Parliament has recently approved amendments to the Barbados Anti-Terrorism Act as part of the island's response to recommendations in its fourth mutual evaluation report prepared by the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force. There is still much to be done. He said the country's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing arrangements fell short.
So while I'm keenly aware that your discussion today may focus around rooting out terrorist threats and things of that sort, the bald fact is that terrorists require money to operate. Without funding, they can't buy weapons, they can't access equipment, they can't plan, they can't obtain supplies. And therefore, as important as your focus is, cutting off access to resources is also a key component in the fight against terrorism.
The Barbados Transport Board is urging commuters to be on the lookout for fake travel smart tickets. According to Acting General Manager of the Transport Board, Linda Holder, she received several reports at the weekend that there were counterfeit travel smart tickets in the public. She warned that it is an unlawful act to present fraudulent tickets and called for an end to the practice. Holder reminds the public that authentic travel smart tickets are laminated and can be easily identified by their watermark logo and the seal of the Transport Board. She stressed that tickets should only be bought from official Transport Board locations. Male employees working at Flow are now entitled to paternity leave, while women will now be getting an extra month on maternity leave. The leading telecommunications provider today unveiled a parental leave policy for all full-time staff that was officially introduced on June 1. The new policy, which was developed by parent company Liberty Latin America, will see Flow employees benefiting from paid maternity leave of 16 weeks and paid paternity leave of 8 weeks. Janelle Waterman is the first worker to benefit from the extra month maternity leave and is delighted.
Great. I can't wait to be back home again, spending time with him. You see, when we do the 12 weeks, you have to try to wean the baby off of breastfeeding from very early to prepare him for when you come back out to work. And you miss a lot of developments, important developments in the baby life when you're out. So extra month for me, it feels great.
Flow's Corporate Communications and Public Relations Manager, Marlene Seeley, told Barbados Today Flow implemented the paternal leave policy because it's the right thing to do.
It's basically the right thing to do, and we would have had parents, mothers and fathers who would have gone off on leave, and they would have wanted more time to be with their children before coming back out to work. And our parent company Liberty Latin America recognized this, and this policy really demonstrates our commitment to our cultural policy of diversity and inclusion, and one that puts our people at the heart of our success. And as you know, earlier this year we launched a major campaign which speaks about the moments that move us. This is actually a moment internally for us as a company that really moves us and moves our staff as well. Our staff have really embraced this new policy already. They're excited about it.
In sports, West Indies all-rounder Andre Russell has been sidelined for the remainder of the Cricket World Cup with a knee injury. Top order batsman Sunil Ambrose, who hit a career best 148 in the Tri-Series in Ireland last month, has been approved by the International Cricket Council as well.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now, Trinidad and Tobago's crime chief says there are more than 50 assassins linked to various gangs in the country, and this is at the root of the island's high murder rate. In a statement today, Gary Griffith claimed the perpetrators walk around with their firearms, knowing that if they are held, they can go to court the next day, acquire bail, and secure firearms to carry out their trade. He again called for support for the Bail Amendment Act. He says it is a strong deterrent to perpetrators and ensuring that those held remain in jail where they belong. Presently, anyone who is apprehended with a firearm could be released on bail. And on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump targeted the Iranian Supreme Leader and other senior Iranian officials with new U.S. sanctions on Monday in response to Tehran's downing of an unmanned American drone. More in this report from Reuters Television.
Today's action follows a series of aggressive behaviors by the Iranian regime in recent weeks, including shooting down of U.S. drones. You shot down the drone. I guess everyone saw that one, and many other things. They've done many other things aside from the individual drone. You saw the tankers, and we know of other things that were done also which were not good and not appropriate. The supreme leader of Iran is one who ultimately is responsible for the hostile conduct of the regime. He's respected within his country. His office oversees the regime's most brutal instruments, including the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Sanctions imposed through the executive order that I'm about to sign will deny the Supreme Leader and the Supreme Leader's office and those closely affiliated with him and the office access to key financial resources and support. America is a peace-loving nation. We do not seek conflict with Iran or any other country. I look forward to the day when sanctions can be finally lifted and Iran can become a peaceful, prosperous, and productive nation.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.